Hello my lovelies, Rob here at Kickback Garage. This video is all about the new BGM MZ30 expansion exhaust. If that's something you fancy having a listen about, then grab yourself a cup of coffee. I'll see you after the intro. Well, I have had the pleasure of riding the RT240 engine of mine, which I did change the transfer ports on before I got this exhaust to see if I could turn it into something a little bit more sporty. And before I go out on the road, I want to give you a couple of interesting tidbits that I know about the exhaust. Well, the thing that I enjoyed the most about this exhaust is the fact that it was super easy to fit. Now, I see on Scooter Centre's website and other places that there are two versions of this exhaust. One is for the Series 1 and 2, the other is for the Series 3. And to be honest, I don't know which one I've got. Looking at the photographs, I think maybe I have the Series 3 type, because the Series 2 type, I noticed on the photos, it goes a little bit further back where the end can comes out. And that maybe mean that you don't have to cut quite as much off the right-hand footboard as much as I did, but I don't mind. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. But I think that is the only difference between them. Now, as I said, Fitment was absolutely spot on, and I have a very awkward engine to fit exhaust to. I even had to modify, I've had a Clubman on this engine with the Casa case and the Casa side case, and it's stroked as well. So I had problems fitting both the BGM Clubman exhaust. The flange actually was a bit too tight. It looks like a pressed steel affair on these Clubmans. And I had to belt it in with a hammer, and I had to do that as well with the BGM Clubman Sport exhaust that I've been running for the last three years, I think. Very pleased with the Clubman exhaust, but after I got the sledgehammer, if I ride with my son Shrek, then it does mean that it is struggling a lot. And hopefully, I haven't actually tested this back to back with the sledgehammer that I've got, but I've certainly turned it into something a little bit different. The exhaust end can that I have fit on this is the normal standard GL end can, and that I bought from Cambridge Lambretta. The reason for that is because BGM and Scooter Centre don't actually have at the moment, at the time this goes out, end cans that fit this exhaust. But I have got photos, and I have a new end can on the way in the post very soon. So what I think I'll do when that new end can comes is fire it up, and we can do a bit of a comparison between the sound of this exhaust end can and the new under development or finished developed BGM end can. Now, the knee end can that is made for this exhaust from Scooter Centre is slightly longer, I have been told. So it actually sticks out to the end of the scooter here. So a good few centimetres longer. And they've also used a special kind of wool in there, and apparently it quietens down the exhaust quite a bit. Funny thing being that I really haven't got any complaint. It is an expansion pipe and it makes sound, but it's a lot quieter than my sledgehammer exhaust. So I'm not really bothered about the sound, to be honest, because I'm used to noisy things, and it's so quiet that I have a car door intercom on my helmet, and I can actually use the intercom and hear what things are being said when I ride this scooter with that end can. So compared to my sledgehammer, where I cannot use the intercom because I can't hear a damn shit. So I'm quite excited as well to hear what the big difference is between these end cans. One thing I'd like to talk about before I go to the petrol station, get some petrol in this puppy and take you out for a ride, is that this exhaust is a lot skinnier around the main belly of the exhaust, and that is one of the reasons why I've got really good clearance on this engine, and you will get good clearance on any engine that you want to stick this exhaust pipe to. There are some benefits of the fact that it's a bit skinnier as well, and one slight negative. And what I want to do is go to the petrol station, get this filled up, take it out on the road, and I'll show you and tell you what I think about it. Oh look, my beeline is updating. I wonder what that is. Just let me put my visor down. Right, we're out. I've already filmed this video. I say this quite a lot, but I filmed it twice. And my microphone wasn't charged, so that's a bit of a pain. Anyway, what I thought I'd do was head up to some hills, and then I'm going to find some faster roads, because I want to really compare this to the other exhaust that I know, and that is the CST3 from Chisel Speed, the Ante Xbox ST, although that's a slightly unfair comparison because that's a box pipe, and the SIP No Speed that I had on my TS1 last year. The reason why I use, oh my god, the reason why I use an adventure helmet is because of this. The evenings in the autumn and in the spring, the sun never seems to set. Why are the roads greasy? It's not been raining. Anyway, BGM, they build this exhaust as a sports touring exhaust, and right off the bat I have to say it is a completely different beast to the SIP No Speed exhaust. The SIP No Speed exhaust, that's took off in the rev range at about 4,500 revs, whereas this one takes off later, about 5,500 revs. So 1,000 revs difference there, and this one will rev on to 8,700 revs, which is a lot of revs there. I can't see a fucking thing, by the way. That's why I'm dawdling a bit. So I'm gonna turn around soon, and I think I'll head in the opposite direction when I get on the faster roads. But the objective here is to see, even though the power band is 4,500 revs, the objective is to see if I can climb hills with ease. I have done a total of 670 kilometers on this before since I fit it, including a rally, 400 kilometers, and I've had a couple of poodles to work. This exhaust actually is really sweet. You can feel it pulling. It's now I'm at 4,000 revs, 3,005, and there is some usable power down in the lower rev range, that is. and I've been riding around in town. I've actually feel that this is a little pussycat in town. It's really easy to manage, because that power band doesn't kick in until about 5.5, and you do have some useful, like here, 4,000. I'm way off the power band. You can hear it burbling a little bit. Can't see a thing. I'm gonna have to turn around soon, aren't I? But I think you sort of get my point here. I wanted just to these hills. GoPro effect is real. The hills look pretty flat on video, but these ones here around my area, they are super duper steep. Some swingy bits. I'm going right down into the rev range, not changing gear. 3,000 revs. It pulls okay. I feel like I'm labouring the motor a little bit, but it's doing alright there. Yeah, that's nice. So while I'm trying to find somewhere to turn around, one thing that I've noticed with this exhaust is, because the power band is higher up in the rev range, I actually had to swap out my needle from the X13 to the X7. It sounds really weak, doesn't it? But it just wasn't. It really wasn't pulling. So if you buy this exhaust and you feel it's not doing much in the low to mid range, it could be that you're slightly overjetted. I've checked my plug, it looks fine. Temperatures, got something to report about temperatures. It is, I think there's sort of a parking place or something, I know, where I can turn around a bit safely and get out of this sun. Come to the temperatures, there's a bit of a blowback because of the fact that this exhaust doesn't hit the power band until 5,500 revs. It meant that when I was on the motorway and I was getting to inclines, I was finding I had to change gear a little bit more often than I would with a fully blown touring pipe, and that's why I say this is more of a sports exhaust than a touring exhaust. Although, as you see here, just pottering around does fine. So I just changed that 5,500 revs just as the power band was kicking in there. So I'm trying to keep out of that when I'm on the back roads, just to see if it does alright in the hills, because on the way from the rally, I was sat on the motorway, it was raining, all my friends abandoned me, they chucked their scooters in vans and trailers. And I ended up just riding the fastest route home because it was absolutely chucking down. So I rode on the motorway, and I was sitting at speeds of between 90 and 110 kilometers an hour. And when I came to an incline in fifth, I really did have to pop it down into fourth. And I was sitting, it sits happily around the 7,000 rev range. Now that isn't for everybody, because it can feel a little bit fidgety. But once you sort of got used to sitting in the higher revs, and it's actually been a little bit difficult for me after coming off the sledgehammer, And on the exhaust that was on here last year, the BGM Sport Curly exhaust, which is a wonderful exhaust, I reckon, that thing would sit about 6,000 revs, so 1,000 revs under, and at 6,000 revs it purrs nicely, whereas this one screams a little bit at 7,000 revs, so I have to sit about the same sort of speeds, but I am I'm sitting at a gear lower. Yeah, temperatures. So the blowback about that is, I think it's because of the way that the exhaust is designed. The fat bit at the front after the manifold isn't that fat, so it clears the engine fantastically. I can stick my hand in between the exhaust and the head manifold, all the way around the exhaust. So that's probably what big reason for the fact that it was really easy to fit this one. The easiest fitting exhaust, even easier than the BGM Sport exhaust on this engine. Easiest exhaust I've fit on this one, and because there's such a nice air gap around there, I reckon the exhaust isn't heating up the cylinder like some of the other exhausts might do, and they probably trap a bit of warmth around the cylinder head or cylinder cowling as well, I reckon. But as you can see, I'm just putting around at 40 kilometers an hour, 50 kilometers an hour, 60 under the power band, and the scooter is just tootling along. It just feels like my RT used to feel like, which I think is nice. Yeah, so I think maybe I'll switch the camera off here, and I'll go and find a slightly more open dual carriageway. I wonder why there's loads of water on the road there. I hope that's they're not washing away diesel or something. Yeah, so yeah, conclusion is it potters around town very nicely. If anything, maybe a little bit easier than the no speed, because the power comes in a little bit earlier on the no speed. It's really easy to get into that power band and start racing around and making lots of noise. I don't really find the noise level too bad on this, but that's being said, I'm used to the sledgehammer, and the exhaust on that is yeah, quite obnoxious. Yeah, so that's nice. I am in a 50 zone again. BGM themselves, they do, as I said, build this as a sports touring exhaust. What they also say is, if you have a TS1 or a Monza and fit a big carb, I think they actually recommend a PWK or something like that, and fit this exhaust, you should expect somewhere around 30 horsepower. Now 30 horsepower is what my sledgehammer has got, but the power comes in so much earlier on that I reckon if I had a bit of a race with it, the sledgehammer would pull away from me quite early, and I'd be chasing the revs to catch it up. But I really would love to put that to the test, to be honest. But we're a little bit busy on the home front at the moment, so maybe that's one to watch if we're lucky and the weather stays like it is now. Although I have to say, it's chilly, lad. It's chilly. Then maybe I should do like a little short or something like that when I try to follow Shrek on the sledgehammer. Oh, because he's the more competent rider, maybe I should sit on the sledgehammer and we'll see if he can keep up with me on the RT240 with the MZ30 exhaust from BGM Pro, because I think I have definitely gained some horses on this. I have certainly... What a cunt. I certainly overtook me in 50 zone over a sleeping policeman. What a twat. Anyway, I don't want to give up too much. I want to keep it under that rev range. Maybe I should report that to the police. I'm filming. Yeah, don't be a swell sport, Rob. Anyway, yeah, so I do feel like I've lost a little bit mid-range, and that's the way two-strokes work, really. You can either have, you can sort of decide where you want your power spread. If you want power throughout the whole amount of revs you've got, then normally it won't rev on that far, then you get some grunt in the mid-range. But this thing, it's got a nice bit of grunt in the mid-range, and at the moment it's pleasant to ride. I'm at 4,000 revs at the moment, and that is where 4,500 revs is about where that SIP node speed exhaust kicks in. So I think I'll do is jump on this bit of dual carriageway here, because the fact that it'll tour and the fact that it'll put around in town is completely amazing for me, because of the way that this thing delivers its power once you let it rev. Cars. He was driving like a dick anyway. Right. Bit of dual carriageway. 4,000 fat. Why did I drop it out of gear there? Don't know. Gave it too much welly in first, didn't I? Right, this is, let's just, 5,500 revs. I'm right on the cusp of where it starts to take off, and I just pull the throttle gently. Oh my god, you have to put the 8,005, 8,008. Oh my goodness. So the thing is, when I'm riding it on the motor, you can hear the engines singing, that pipe singing. I'm at 6,000 revs here, and this is about where you have to sit when you're on the faster roads. I just think you have to put a bit of still pulling. I dropped under 5,500 revs, and now it doesn't really want to do much. So if I want to accelerate again, I do have to drop a gear. And she's off again. I think I've lost some air in my back tire. I'm going to have to fill that up before I get out on the on this dual carriageway. That was just a little bit of a taster for you. It really needs. It's a little bit. It's more. It's not. I'm lying. It's more tiring to ride on the faster roads because this thing just takes off. And as you saw there, maybe if the camera picked it up, I was at 8,800 revs. That's quite ballistic, and that thing pulled from, so it starts pulling at 5,005, so properly. You get a proper kick in the pants. It's seriously livened up this scooter. I might be inclined to say you wouldn't believe it was an RT. That is the air. I need some air in my tires. Shit a brick, man. It scares me a bit. The cool thing about that, and something I wanted to get over on this video, is the fact that because it's got some usable power under its immense power band, it just doesn't feel like the same engine as I had last year, or the same engine as I had when I rode over Lisa Fjorden with the boys, the English boys. Where is my there? I think. Oh fuck! It's broken. What a cunt. It's a little bit soft. Thing is, you see, when you get in the power band, so I have to drop that. When you get in the power band, it takes off and gets really light on the front wheel, even on the Series 2. Calm my nerves a little bit. It turns it into a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde scooter. It's absolutely no problem pottering around. And if you want to go out and do some like back road scratching in the evenings, or act like a hooligan, you can with this exhaust. So it's to turn it into a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, and normally that's not the case, and that's why I say it's more of a sports exhaust than a touring exhaust, and I mean it in all the best possible ways. Yes, it does tour, but you have to have your wits about you. It feels almost like my it feels almost like my SS 240 did. It's turned my RT 240 into such a naughty little thing. And because the power delivery is so brutal after 5,500 revs, it does start to pull. I'm at 5, so it does start to pull at 5, but then 5.5, then it really pulls. It scares me a little bit again. But you can see here I'm absolutely not struggling whatsoever. I was going to tell you something about the temperature earlier on, and the blow-by effect of sitting higher in the rev range. Let me put my visor down. It's a 50 zone here. The blow-by effect of the fact that the exhaust isn't really tight up on that head cowl, and the fact that you have to sit at 1,000 to 1,500 revs more on the dual carriageways and motorways. That little fan is going round 1,500 times more a minute, and it really has done something to my cooling. This RT cylinder has always run quite cool. And when I put her on like this normally with my Clubman Curly, BGM Curly Sport, it's been sitting at around head temperature, has been sitting at around 125, 135, somewhere like that. Whereas here I am bang on 100 Celsius. And even when I sat on the motorway, I didn't see temperatures over like 120. That means fun time, boys. I have to sit myself in front of the scooter. That's 5,005. Oh my God! I've turned it into something dangerous. Oh my God, it's still pulling! Yeah, put it this way, you really have to be on, if you want to sit at the higher revs, you want to be awake and on your game, lad. So where am I? 5,000 revs? Will it pull from there? Yes, it will. Get it up to 5.5. There. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that front goes so light. What the hell have they done? It's like I'm actually looking forward to the 50 zone. Oh boy, this thing pulls like a... Oh, I'm giddy, man. Wow. How did they do that? How can you make an exhaust... How can you make an exhaust feel like a pussycat but still be usable up to 5,500 revs in hills, by the way? And I did some massive climbs on the way to the rally last month, and I could just stick it in second or third depending on the incline. And it just potted around like this. Absolutely fine. I don't know how they do it, because like I was saying, normally when you make exhausts, you have to sort of choose if you want top end, mid-range on a two-stroke. And you don't normally get both. I reckon if I put this on a dyno, we would be seeing 10-12 horsepower under 5,000 revs. Maybe a bit more, maybe up towards 15. And then my seat of the pants dyno says I reckon I've got 27, 28 out of this. When I compare it to my sledgehammer, it's just that the power comes on so brutally, and the scream of the exhaust note makes it quite a thrilling ride. So this, I reckon, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody because you can easily hurt yourself if you're not awake while you're on the power on this thing. Yeah, you really have to be switched on. Right, this is dual carriageway. Let's see what she does. This is where all the cars just like come out in front of me. Everybody thinks it's a moped, you know. There we go. Right, 5,500. That's a 7. Oh my God!
And I'm at 103 degrees, by the way, on the temp. And the slightly spooky thing about this is if I want to cruise now, I sort of have to cruise there, because when I stick it in fifth, it'll keep up with cars, but I can't really accelerate. I'm at 5,000 revs, 80 kilometers an hour, and if I want to accelerate, I do have to put it in fourth gear. And I found I did a lot of fourth gear stuff. Fifth gear downhill, 110 kilometers an hour, but under 100. So now I'm going downhill, and now I start pulling, of course, because now I hit 5.5 in fifth. Oh. And you have to sit quite high in those revs. Find it a little bit spooky. Temperature 123 degrees. So the secret of this is you just have to be over 5,500 revs. And you just have to grin and bear the fact that those you're sitting at higher revs than I sometimes feel comfortable with. One thing that spooks me a little bit is my vertical, because this was a bit more of a driving Miss Daisy type of scooter. I've got a back rack with a vertical spare wheel, and I actually when I come up in those speeds there, I can feel the wind grabbing my vertical spare wheel holder, and I'm seriously considering to make this thing a little bit more stable in higher speeds. Seriously considering fitting a horizontal rear wheel holder, just to help with the aerodynamics a bit. 6,000 revs. Oh my god, I've got absolutely no problems. As long as I'm over 5.5, it just pulls and pulls and pulls. Whoa. Woohoo! What an amazing exhaust. And I sat like this, back from the rally, 2.5, 3 hours, didn't miss a beat. Going over there. Wow. Such a surprise. And I was expecting it. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting something similar to the no speed, but this is completely different. If I'm going to compare it to one of my exhausts, earlier exhaust, I think I'd have to compare it to a more powerful version of the Xbox ST from Avanti, and ironically enough, it's a bit quieter too. Now, I haven't tried the Avanti with the new exhaust tailpipe that they've made, but BGM do promise they have a new tailpipe in the works for this one as well. But I don't find the noise too bad, to be honest. But if you're coming from a club, then maybe you will, I don't know. Let me just put my visor up. It seriously transformed this scooter. It just does not feel like the same scooter. When I get over 5,500 revs, it doesn't feel like the same scooter. So yeah, the big question on everybody's mind is, are you going to keep that exhaust on, Rob? And I have to say a massive yes. I love the fitment. I love the fact that they have the double downpipe split, so you don't get tension there. And some of the older JLs, JL exhaust, who make this exhaust, they could split down there. So I think not only does that aid fitting, it also aids relieves it from some tension. And the end can part, the part that fits the end can, that is also split, whereas the older JL3 at least, that could split there as well. I've seen a couple of those go there, and now that's also a slip joint. So I am definitely keeping this exhaust, but buyer beware. It can catch you off guard, because the speed at which the power comes on when it hits the power band is both thrilling and a little bit scary. And the fact that I've owned this scooter for 15 years, and I have had loads of different configurations of rear racks on it. The fact that I'm now on the lookout for some kind of nice horizontal rack for my spare wheel is the testament to the fact that it's so easy to ride faster. Can't see a thing, isn't that? I wonder how the camera is going to tackle that sun. Yeah, so the conclusion is I am definitely having this exhaust. And before I go, I want to run you through my setup. It's Otti 240. I've got 62 by 110 crankshaft. It is tuned by Mark Broadhurst MB Scooters. It has reed valve. Damn, I can't see a thing. Seriously, can't see anything. Come on, sir. Oh, cut me off, why don't you? I am running PHPH Deloto 30 carb. I have got 127 main. I've got an AV266. I have a X7 needle. I used to run a X13 on the BGM box pipe, and I run the X13 on the SIP no speed exhaust, but I had to go down on the needle on this. Ooh. I can't talk and ride like this at the same time. One thing to note is I am running, after I plated my cylinder, I have been running the flat Marchild Casa Performance filter. So that obviously will affect your jetting a little bit, but on a Series 2 it barely touches the panel, so it breathes pretty good. So there won't be a lot in it when you set it up. Just be aware when you set up your carb, fit at least a 300 float jet, because when you're in the power it does demand some petrol there. That being said, I didn't really notice much petrol consumption differences between this and the Clubman exhaust. I think it's because when you're just riding around normally, it actually uses less because I'm running a lower leaner needle than I did on that one. Woo! You can see perfectly fine. I was third gear up this hill in 3,000 revs. Boink boink. Yeah, so it's it was, even though it was on the motorway for 2 hours, I didn't really notice that it was using any more than I'd normally fill up. It could be a little bit, but it's negligible. So this thing did fine mileage wise. Oi oi oi. I thought I'd go up here. You see that? I'm in third gear and it just pulled up there fine. It's really odd. I just, hats off to Andy Francis. Oh, come on. I'm riding like a clown. I've got it in third. I think I need to adjust my cable slightly. It's a bit out of whack. Yeah, big hats off to Andy Francis and the team at BGM Pro. They have managed to pull out all the stops to make a whopping bit of exhaust history here, I reckon. One thing to take note of is, I reckon this will work okay on a motor without reed, but BGM themselves, they recommend that you that this exhaust is tuned to fit TS1s, Monsters, RT with reed, stuff like that. I appear to be at a dead end, and that is because I am in the area where I have my house, and I don't want to show you where I live. Right, let me just put it in neutral there. There you go. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video review. It's been a long time coming. The next videos, I've actually got 3 projects that have arrived in the garage. I've got a Civetta. I know a lot of people love their not a lot of people love their Civettas. I've actually got a Lince in the garage that needs a bit of TLC before it goes out on the road. That is going to be the next series of videos, I reckon. Do you get the sea view there? What a beautiful place I live. Yeah, I am definitely going to finish off that desert sled, and I've got an LI 150 that's coming down tomorrow, and that's going to get the full kickback garage treatment. I think it's almost it's a full rebuild, so that nice series of videos there, and that also gives you an opportunity. If there's anything I've missed out on the videos you want me to show, then write a comment down below, and I will certainly talk about those points in the next videos to come. Anyway, I will love you and leave you. Don't forget, if you like this kind of stuff, give me the old thumbs up. If you want to see more of this kind of content, then do subscribe, press the bell so they get notified when new videos come up, and I will see you all, bright light, in the next one. Ta-ra!